to the Minister of Labour and ask, does she agree with all the Prime Minister's statements on employment relations?
The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Yes.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Supplementary question. Was it the policy intention of the government when it introduced the 90-day legislation that the general good faith provision would override the specific exclusion of the requirement to give reasons for dismissal in writing?
The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Mr Speaker, the trial period has always been designed to work in the context of good faith. One does not override another. They work in tandem. They both work together.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, supplementary question. Was it her intention that the Statute's Interpretation Act would be overruled by her 90-day trial legislation?
The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Mr Speaker, I'm thinking, Mr Speaker, that the member is asking me for a legal interpretation of how the Employment Relations Act interfaces with the Statutory Interpretation Act, and actually, as a matter of statutory interpretation, I would have thought the Employment Relations Act is subject to it.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Given her last answer, and given the fact that the Statutes Interpretation Act makes clear that the specific overrules the general, was it the policy intention of the government when it introduced the 90-day legislation that the general good faith provision would override the specific exclusion of the requirement to give reasons for dismissal in writing?
The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Mr Speaker, the intention of the policy and of the legislation is that good faith applies during the 90-day trial provision, with the exemption of subclause C.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, was it the policy intention of the government when it introduced the 90-day legislation that the general good faith provision would be equal to, override, or be subject to the specific exclusion of the requirement to give reasons for dismissal in writing?
The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Mr Speaker, the intention of the legislation is that their good faith provisions apply and that they require an employer to be responsive, communicative and actually subject to good faith provisions.
Question. Point of order, Sue Kedgley.
Yes, tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. I seek leave to table the Pork Industry Board Act 1997, in particular Schedule 2, which allows the Minister to remove directors for various reasons.
Is the member seeking leave of the House to table an act?
Yes, pointing out a provision.
Members don't.
That the Minister
we're not going
may...
to do that. Members have the statutes available to them
Well, it contradicts what the Minister said.
No, the member's not going to use that provision to try and score points. The members have that information available to them endlessly. Question number 9, Paul Quinn.
Tēnā koe.